Dan Geltrude. Dan, good morning. Well, it was not meant to be. The Dow and NASDAQ flirted with record highs yesterday, but in the end, it flattened out. The Dow Jones average fell 106 points. NASDAQ went up just 61 points. So the numbers were likely a response to Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell throwing cold water once again on the president's tariffs. I mean, he was testifying before the House and Senate, saying the import taxes will fuel inflation as well as pass on added costs to Americans. I mean, Dan, some Republican lawmakers now accusing Powell of dispensing political bias instead of financial facts. What do you make of this?
Well, let's break this down to the two sides. You have President Trump on one side that wants to implement the tariffs, saying that it isn't going to impact inflation. Jerome Powell, on the other hand, says, now, hold on a minute. I think they may very well cause more inflation, and therefore, I am not going to lower the interest rates. Now, President Trump wants those interest rates down because he believes it will fuel growth. But at the same time, when you lower interest rates, you could have a situation where inflation could rise. So that's the battle between the two of them. Yeah. Ironically, Jerome Powell was an appointee by President Trump. So I think he's got some buyer's remorse here.
Yeah, I mean, my goodness, we've been seeing the back and forth between these two gentlemen when it comes to these rates for weeks now. So how about this, Dan? There's word that Shell Oil is on early talks to acquire BP. BP stocks actually jumped by 10% on this news. Would this make Shell a rival of oil giant ExxonMobil?
Well, in terms of size, yes, they would be up there with ExxonMobil and Chevron. But listen, there is no true confirmation that this is going to happen because when you have a deal this large in the oil industry, which hasn't happened in decades, you are going to have some antitrust issues raised to say, is it in the public's best interest to put these two companies together? So even if a deal is being worked on, one, it's going to take a long time, and two, you're going to have the government looking very closely at this deal.
You make a fantastic point. So Starbucks' new CEO continues to stir up changes to your morning brew. All right, so get this. Extra syrup on unflavored beverages will now cost a flat fee of an extra 80 cents. And then if you want an extra scoop of matcha, it'll be an extra $1. Why is the new CEO intent on making just so many new changes to this beloved brand?
Well, Starbucks has had slumping sales. So this is all what's behind this is how do we get sales going? Now, this is one of those ways that they think could work. I personally don't understand it. To me, the formula is very simple. Starbucks is too expensive, so people are not going there as much. So I believe they have to figure out a price point that doesn't hurt profitability, but you keep having consumers coming back to buy more products. This approach of adding on more cost to what's already expensive, I don't see how it works.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a catch-22 because they're not making the money, so then they want to increase prices, but then people aren't going to show up because things are too expensive. Yeah, they're kind of between a rock and a hard place right now. But if you are waiting for Krispy Kreme donuts to show up at your McDonald's, you know you're our McDonald's guy. But we have some bad news about those donuts. So the two companies say the partnership has not really been profitable. So the last Krispy Kreme sold at the test run of 2,500 McDonald's stores will end July 2nd. Dan, two very delicious brands. What went wrong here?
Well, it worked for one side, but not the other. So this was working out very well for McDonald's, and they wanted to continue on this path. However, Krispy Kreme, it didn't feel so good about this deal. It wasn't working out financially for them, so they are pulling out. And what you'll see here is Krispy Kreme stock going up a bit, McDonald's coming down a bit because it was helping McDonald's, but not meant to be. No. So if you want Krispy Kreme, you will not be getting them at McDonald's after July 2nd.
No, but you can go to that Krispy Kreme, wait until that hot and ready sign is lit up, go into the store, go grab yourself some of those original glazed. Dan Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. It was really great seeing you.
Thanks, Alex.
All right, everybody.